There are many beautiful places on the island of Sodor. The engines love the pretty watermill, the peaceful canals, and the castle on the lake. Toby's favorite place is the old windmill. The windmill is worn. It cannot make much flour now. Toby loves to watch the sails go round. And the miller is his friend. Good morning, Toby. One day, Toby was collecting a load of flour to take to the market. But he was so busy watching the windmill's sails that he forgot to look where he was going. All the flour was ruined, and the miller was upset. If I can't sell my flour, I'll have to shut down the windmill. I'm sorry, sighed Toby. Harvey arrived to put the trucks back onto the track. Toby was sad. What will the miller do if his mill shuts down? It's a shame, said his driver, but we must hurry, Toby. There's a storm on the way. Toby couldn't sleep that night. It wasn't the thunder and lightning that kept him awake. He was still worrying about the miller. That stormy night, the old windmill was struck by lightning. The next morning, Toby chuffed carefully along his branch line. The storm had torn trees from the ground, and the farm buildings had been damaged. Then Toby saw the most shocking sight of all. The windmill is broken, he cried. This means the end of my business, said the miller sadly. I can't afford the timber to make the repairs. Toby really wanted to help. There must be a way. Suddenly, his driver saw a fallen tree ahead. Harvey and Terence were clearing the track. Sir Topham Hatt was cross. This storm has caused confusion and delay. Remove this tree immediately. But Toby had an idea. Please, sir, the windmill has been broken. The wood from this tree can mend it and make it work again. A splendid idea, agreed Sir Topham Hatt. Toby proudly took the tree to the miller. The miller was delighted. Now we can build our windmill back up again. It will be good as new. Toby watched as the work began. It took a long time. But at last, the windmill was completed. Sir Topham Hatt was most impressed. The miller was grateful. Thank you, Toby. Your idea saved my windmill. Toby beamed happily. Now the windmill produces more flour than ever before. And Toby makes twice as many deliveries to the market. He never tires of watching the sails go round. And he is very proud that the miller now calls it Toby's windmill. The engines on the island of Sodor were excited. A new park was being built. Everyone was working hard to get the job finished on time. Duncan was feeling impatient. "Get a move on, slow coach," he puffed crossly to Rusty. "You're so slow, I'll finish first," Duncan boasted to Skarloey. Skarloey was cross. A little later, he met Rusty at the new park station. "Duncan thinks he's fast," Skarloey steamed, "but he's just a bossy boiler." "Better safe than fast," Rusty agreed. Duncan drew into the station. He was all puffed up and pleased with himself. "I finished first," he wheezed proudly. "In that case," said Sir Topham Hatt, "I've got another job for you. You're to collect the elephant on the sidings and take it to the park." "Yes, sir," chuffed Duncan. "This elephant is very important. You must be very careful." When Duncan saw the elephant, he was surprised. "Why, it's only a statue," he said. "This is an easy job." "You must wait for the brake van," said the station master. "This statue is very heavy." "Nonsense," huffed Duncan to his driver. "I've pushed heavier loads than this plenty of times." "Let's go, Duncan," said his driver. "But we must be careful." So they left, but without the brake van. But Duncan wasn't careful. He was impatient. "We'll show them how fast I can be," Duncan whistled. "We'll deliver this statue, and I'll still finish first." Duncan started to speed up. Soon, Duncan was going as fast as his wheels could carry him. His driver was starting to worry, so he tried to brake. But Duncan was out of control. He was scared. He had never gone this fast. People waved and cars tooted as Duncan sped by. Suddenly, a tractor trundled across Duncan's line. "Look out!" shouted his driver. Slow down, whistled Rusty. "I can't," Duncan cried as he shot past. Whoa! Elephant Park loomed ahead. Duncan's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late. The statue flew through the air and landed in the lake. Luckily, nobody was hurt. In no time, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. He was cross. "I told you to be careful. You should have waited for the brake van," he said sternly. "I'm sorry, sir," mumbled Duncan. He felt very embarrassed. Duncan was prepared in time for the opening of Elephant Park. He was very surprised to see the statue was still standing in the lake. "Everyone loves the elephant in the lake," said Lady Hatt. "Even if it was a mistake," added Sir Topham Hatt. "Hooray for Duncan's mistake!" cheered the engines. Duncan blushed and went a deep shade of red.